Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to Tuesday night knit chat. I don't think we've said that for a long time.
No, we're back.
So welcome, everybody. My name is Noelle, and this is my friend,
Kelly.
And we are coming to you both
I don't think I've talked enough today.
both from Southwestern Ontario, Canada. So we're glad to see that you're all here. You know, we hope that you have time to sit for a little bit and chat. So it's been, I was trying to think, it's been 13 days since we've been here. So
it's been 13 days since our last knitting confession. Yes.
13 full fun-filled days.
Yes. So. We've got Christy is in here tonight from Puerto Rico.
Oh, hi, Christy.
And I'm guessing it's warmer there than it is here today.
Well, it's not super warm here. It's nice and sunny, but it's not.
No, that's what I said. It's cold. It's so I'm in a sweater. Beverly is here from Vancouver Island, and she is recovering from major foot surgery. So she has lots of knitting time ahead of her.
I know what that feels like. That's the only good part. That's the only good part of it is the lots of knitting time. But
and Carrie's here from Sarnia, and she's busy frogging her quilty.
Oh,
Carrie.
No. Oh no.
That's a really good project to do in the company of friends, because I guarantee there'll be a whole lot less, cursing and swearing and grumbling when you're amongst friends. So you can just, sort of pluck away at it and be all good.
Yeah. So
Christy says it's 82 in Puerto Rico. Well, it's definitely
warmer
there
82
than it is
here. That's right.
Definitely not.
This has been a particularly cool spring, I think. I remember it being a lot warmer than this. In fact, I used to run a race every Father's Day, and there were times that it was so hot, even at 8 o'clock in the morning, that it was unbearable. And this year, my son ran it. He did really well. He had his best time ever because it was freezing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, not just because of that. Sorry, Curtis. He did train. I don't want to say it was solely because of the weather that he ran a good race. But yeah, it's because if it's good for the runners, it's cold for the spectators. And if it's nice for the spectators, it's warm for the runners. But yeah, so I think that next week it's supposed to warm up a little bit more. We're still getting that wind off the lake. I think that makes it cool.
And it's a north wind, and it is so cold today. It's like our patio faces the north. So I like to have the patio doors open throughout the day, and there's nothing on the north side of my house that's open today. It is such a bitter cold wind that's blowing in. Now, if you're in the front of our house and faces south and it is sunny, it's sheltered there, it does feel quite nice. But by the time you walk through the breezeway to get to the backyard, you will think that, it's dropped 10 degrees. It's not nice. So, yeah.
Okay, so we should get started here. So maybe we'll do some admin first. The first thing being that 2 weeks from today, we will not be podcasting, but the good news is the Sunday prior to that, July 5th, we will do a live then. So you'll have to mark that down on your calendar. So that'll be July 5th, Sunday at 7 p.m. Is it Eastern time still, even though we're on daylight savings?
Yes, it's still.
Okay.
Yes. And
regular time.
If you forget that and you miss it on Sunday, you'll be able to tune in.
Watch it on Tuesday.
Right. And then just watch it after the fact. So
that's right.
There will still be something to see.
That will be July 5th. So we'll be ending another sock month.
Yes.
So we'll talk a little bit about that. We've got a couple of knit-alongs going on. The first one being our year-long sock knit-along. And all you have to do is finish your socks and get them in there. And we draw 2 prizes at the end of every month. One is a pattern prize, generously donated by our friend Natalie. And the other prize is a sock yarn prize. So the more times you enter, because we do go back to the beginning of the year for our draw, the more pairs of socks you get in there, the more chances you have to win.
Yes.
And we're trying to meet our goal of 5,026 pairs for 2026.
Yes.
So.
And then the other thing that we have ending on June 30th is our current Makealong, which is called Lace at Your Pace. And it started on May 1st. And basically, if it has holes, we're calling it lace. So that opens up quite a gamut of projects. It includes crochet as well, because crochet is inherently lacy. And it can be anything that has any bit of lace or holes in it. Tees, cardigans, and lacy stitches. And it is 50 grams minimum.
Yep.
And had to have been less than 25% complete by May 1st.
Yes.
But hopefully you get these things done, because this is the time to wear lacy things.
That's right. That's right.
I'm wearing
It's
my
cool
woolly
again.
lacy thing today, but that's okay. It's still lacy. So yes. And Noelle's wearing something lacy
Yes,
tonight
it's lacy too. So yep.
So get
And
that
there's
in.
there are so many gorgeous patterns coming out with all the pointel lace in it, and just so pretty and so delicate, like even in socks, like just very, very pretty. So just because the cowl ends doesn't mean that you have to stop knitting lacy things.
No.
So
okay. So we'll have those prizes that we will be showing to you on July 5th for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So we should maybe talk about what we're wearing. And we are both wearing lacy items. So I think this is the first time in a long time that I haven't had a sweater on. So, but I was with the kids today, and it's easier to have a t-shirt on when I'm with them. And Penelope was actually fascinated by the shawl. So
was she?
Yes.
Aw. Well, you go ahead and start.
Okay. So this shawl is crocheted, and it is the virus shawl by Teen Summer Hansen. It is a free pattern on the hobby website. The pattern that's on there is quite a bit larger though. This one I just did. I'll take it off and I'll show you. And I think the reason that she was fascinated was because I had it on actually like this. And then I just have this little ring.
Okay.
Right. That I put. So I think that's more what she was fascinated with, was like the ring around the. So it's just a little summer weight shawl. This is it's called lace weight, but it's more like a light fingering. So this yarn is Schockenmeyer. Just a minute here. I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, and I forgot. It is Schockenmeyer Fashion Tahiti. So it's 99% cotton and 1% polyester. It's like really drapey. I did this on a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, and it took just 39 grams of the yarn. So the yarn comes in a 50 gram cake. So there was enough left from this that I did a little Long Island twilly that I could just put that around my neck or tear it around my purse. And I've still got enough left to do like a little, I'm going to do a little Long Island twilly hair tie. But this color number is 7624. And it's just got like all those colors. I've got t-shirts, those colors. I've got knitted summer sweaters that are those colors. So it just adds a nice little pop of color to something that's just a plain color. And the ring makes it so easy for any like of your little shawls, like say it's even a Sophie shawl that you don't necessarily have enough to tie around the whole neck. And you don't want to, sometimes if you tie a knot, the knot can be kind of bulky. It's so easy just to push it through a ring. Of course, now it's not going to do it for me, but just to push it through a ring and pull it up. And then I just tucked it around. And, like if you're wearing, for me, if I bring one of these with me somewhere and, like you spill coffee or something, you can just stick your little shawl over top of it. You won't see it.
Spoken like a person who spills a lot of coffee on themselves.
I do, especially in the car and we're going somewhere and you've got nothing to change into. That's when you spill it. If you've got all your clothes with you and you can change into anything, no problem. You won't spill a drop.
I swear, when I'm drinking my tea in the car, Mike will wait until he sees me raise the cup, and that's when he will step on the gas. I think he does it on purpose. He says he doesn't, but I swear he does. So I don't know.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm not going to give up the coffee, so I just got to knit some cafe latte colored tops to wear in the car.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I'm wearing.
Okay. And I am wearing an oldie but a goodie. And I don't even remember how long ago I made this. I'll bet it's 5 years. This is the Love Note by Tin Can Knits. And I do have a couple of pictures. This was even so far back, I didn't even put the sweaters on when I was trying to take pictures. This was on my mannequin in the basement. So, but I love this sweater. I love this color. I love everything about it. I bought the yarn. It's Emma's yarn. I bought it in Columbia at Vogue.
Columbus.
Yeah,
Yes.
Columbus, not
Columbus,
Columbia.
not
Yes,
Columbia.
Columbia. I've been to Columbia too, but I didn't buy yarn there. Anyway, so it's Emma's Hella Hank. Colorway is Orbit. And then I held it with Emma's Marvelous Mohair called Wish You Were Beer. I used 150 grams, and that was the size of the Hella Hank of the Orbit. I used it all, and then I used 63 grams of the mohair. But this is one of those classic sweaters, the pretty lacy pattern. This is probably not as well known as the ranunculus, but it's got to be up there. Like I think almost everybody every knitter has knit a love note, and I have 2 of them actually, and I think you have more than that.
I have more than that, and I've done kids versions too. The pattern's typical tin can knit, so it starts off. You can do it right down to a baby size, and it goes up. So it is a really nice pattern, and really, and it's actually the shaping of it is a lot like the ranunculus, because there are some raglan increases once you get down
down in here.
The yoke,
actually, there we go.
Yeah, which I think makes for a really nice fitting sweater.
Yeah, so it does.
Than just a straight circular.
It gets rid of, like, sometimes you'll notice if you do a circular yoke, you end up getting like a little bit of extra volume right here in your sweater, and not everybody is really keen on that. And if you're like me and you don't have a lot to take in that extra volume, then it's really quite noticeable sometimes. And with those few rows of the raglan shaping in the armpit, it really does give the sweater a little bit more structure. And this one fits really nice. It's a cropped one, so I usually wear it with dresses and things like that, but this is really lovely yarn.
I've used that yarn, and it's nice sometimes when you're doing a crop sweater. If you're doing some of the smaller sizes, you only need like 150 grams. So it's nice that the yarn comes in the 150 grams, and
it's fast.
It's always satisfying when you use all that yarn and there's not a whole lot left. I mean, the yarn can get scary at the end, but when you get that project done and you've only got this, it's like.
Yes. Well, I actually ran out. I ran out about this much, I think, like literally stitches, but I had another color that was kind of similar that I just finished off the casting off on. And I honestly have to really look hard to find it. It was a really good match.
Yeah.
So, but it was a great sweater, and it was a quick knit as well, because it was knit on 6mm needles. And so you get finished the yoke, and then literally there's, very little sweater left to knit. And that's also a great project for the summer, because there are still cooler days where it feels nice to have a little bit of something cozy on, but because it's so lacy, then I don't always feel overheated. And I know you've knit in a summer cotton, I think.
Yep. And you can also, like a lot of people have done it in like Sand and Scarn Lena or Drops Bell. And then it makes a nice sweater to kind of put on in the evening. And you've got the drapiness of the linen cotton blend, but not super hot like having a mohair. So
Victoria says, meanwhile, it's 100 degrees Fahrenheit in Albuquerque.
Okay, well, maybe in Albuquerque.
Smoking.
You're inside, but then the air conditioning feels even colder. When it's not hot outside and you go inside, the air conditioning feels that much colder.
That's a lot. That's a lot to withstand. Gosh, I hope you're doing something to stay cool. Probably not knitting. I don't know.
Inside.
Yeah. Enjoy that AC. So, okay. What else?
Okay. Well, do you have any finishes?
I do. I have 2 finishes, and we'll call it a third, because there's a bunch of them, but they're finishes, but I'll just count them as one.
Okay. You go. I have 30, but you go ahead if you've got one that's a whole lot of things.
Okay. So, well, I guess I'll just start. Okay, I'll start with that one. So, about a week and a half ago, I guess, we went over to Julia's house and we spent an afternoon, a crafternoon, as somebody called it the other day, which was fantastic. And she showed us how she had made some buttons. And so we gathered around the table and we made some buttons. And I can show you the ones that I made that day. But it's a rabbit hole. It is a rabbit hole. And I have fallen down it hard. And I've bought, so it's using polymer clay. You make the buttons out of the polymer clay, then you bake it, and then you glaze them. But it's a lot of fun. That's what it is. It's a lot of fun. I literally think I may never need to buy buttons for anything ever again, because I have enough clay that I could make buttons for the rest of my life now. But anyway, so I'll show you just some that we made. I had made these ones because I am going to be crocheting a dress for Nina, and these will match.
Those are cute.
Little hearts with knitting patterns on them. And then also I had some leftover in that color, so I'll show you what I did with them. I just made some little stitch markers.
Oh, cute.
So that's the other thing. It isn't just buttons. Like, you can literally make anything with this clay. You can make little dishes. And I have a lot of ideas that are rolling around in my head. So then so where this all started, there was a technique that I had seen online that I really wanted to try. Probably the hardest possible technique that we could have tried for that day. So it took me the better part of an afternoon to monkey around with that, not to have great success. I'll show you what I ended up with. I think Julia did a better job of it than I did. And then it took me like less than 10 minutes to make all of those little purple things. But anyway, this is supposed to look like knitted. Well, it kind of does on camera. Yeah. But I just think that they're not great because I got a little carried away with the color and I wasn't consistent in my little snakes that I was making. I could do this better now. I may revisit this. So that was one. And then there was also this one, similar pattern, but with little cables down it. And this is a roller that Julia has. Okay. So those were first attempts. And I came home stoked. I was so excited by those things. And, but anyway, then I bought some of my own supplies and I've been playing. And honestly, I think I even did better. So here's what I was trying. Again, I started with the really hard thing. This was my out of the gate thing. I don't know why I start with the hard things. What I was trying to make, it's called a cane. So you make a whole bunch of small things and you sandwich them all together. And I was trying to make a triangular cane that I could cut and make buttons out of. And I ended up, I think I made my canes that I sandwiched together too small, or that I didn't leave my border color thick enough. But this is what I ended up with. And they're not horrible. These ones are, so I made these into stitch markers. So they have gold and then I can't turn it because there we go. There. So you see, that's pretty cool. So this was my idea to make some buttons, but I have stitch markers, but then I did get some buttons. They're not very large. They're pretty small triangle buttons, but they're not hideous. They're just, and they have gold on the sides. But anyway, so these are all works in progress. So then I had leftover cane. And so then I just started playing with the cane. So I split it in half, laid it on its back, came up with these, which are probably my favorite of all. Look at these. Oh, wow. And that's gold metallic in there. I am obsessed with making these things. I love them. And then I kept rolling it and it got to this. So this is a little more muted. We're going to be less muted as I go. This was my blue era. I used up all my scrap blue that I had. So these ones are a little more muted, but still very cute. Lynn had made this shape when we were at Julia's that day. And I really love the shape of these little squares. So I made those. More muted again, but still I really liked. And these ones have the knitting pattern on them. So very cute, just very subtle hints of any metallic in there, but all very usable. I'm putting them on cards only to keep them organized, right? So that I can keep them in my little bin, and putting them on cards takes almost as long as making the buttons. I think there's got to be an easier way to do this, but I'm still having fun. I don't care. It's just a fun little rabbit hole to fall down. And then because I had, it's like the pie dough, you don't want to throw any away. So I got down to the tiny little snippets. So I rolled them out again and put another texture, and these would be good for a little baby sweater.
Oh, those are cute. Yep.
Very cute. So there we go. Rabbit hole. I have so many other ideas in my head, and I just want to keep making buttons and other things. And I realize I need to make more things. So the next thing that I'm going to be working on, the next color combination, I'll just show you this. This is my crochet cardigan, which is not quite finished, but I'm planning to do the the band for that will be a knitted band as well. But I'm actually thinking of not holding the pink mohair when I do the band. I'm thinking of just using the slow color held with Oscar from Knit Picks, which is an alpaca. So would be the same density, and just doing the button band in the dark purple. So I'm thinking of making some iridescent. So I have translucent clay now, buttons that would match pretty close to that, and then use those on that dark button band. So this is so much fun because you have the total control. There's no more of this going to a button store and, staring at all the buttons and hoping to find something that I think is going to look good. I can literally make whatever I need to make for any project that I have on the go, and then some, or that anybody else might have on the go. And we had so much fun that day. Carrie had made some buttons that are like the exact, like she's using a yarn that has little Tweety bits in it. And she created like the very same thing on her buttons. So she's got this little Tweety effect going on there, and it's just so much fun. And I'm not going to say that it's, you don't need a lot to get started. You basically need clay. But then once you've started, like Julia had all the bells and whistles, and you want all the bells and whistles. You want the molds, definitely you need the button molds to get the right shape. But I mean, you could just cut a circle and then use a tool to put your own holes in. But she has these lovely buttonholes that are already in there. And anyway, and they are machine washable too. So I've done enough research on them as well, that if you do make them and they're baked properly and you have the correct glaze on there, they are machine washable, machine dryable. The glaze over time may start to diminish, but the button should be fine. And I've done a deep dive on that on the internet because I didn't want to talk about something that I had like little knowledge of. So I may not know how to do all of the techniques yet, but I have been really looking into the usefulness of this clay and other things that we can do. So anyway, it's a really fun hobby. I mean, I can remember playing with clay as a kid, and I totally get why it's completely fun again, because all those same things that you practiced as a child with the colored clay, you're doing it as an adult. You're, rolling out the little snakes, you're making shapes. You can make, miniature anything, or it's endless. And if you have questions, don't trust me and don't ask me for tutorials or whatever. I don't know the answers, but if even on Instagram or YouTube, if you look up a few polymer clay tutorials, I guarantee your feed will be instantly filled, as mine is. And I know a lot more than I did 2 weeks ago. That's all I know to say on that. And it's fun.
Unfortunately, I couldn't go, but I've started watching the tutorials. I almost have collected all my supplies. I bought 24 colors of clay.
Yep.
I bought the translucent clay. I bought mica powder.
Yes.
I bought alcohol inks.
Oh, you're really going in deep. Okay.
I bought the pasta roller.
I have the pasta roller too. Yes.
So now I just got to get a glaze, and there's I got some molds, but it was just jewelry molds. I couldn't find button molds at Michael's, so I have to go online to order those.
And the fun thing about Michael's is you can always get one of these things at usually 40% off.
They actually had a thing this week that you could order 2 items online for 40%
two items
off.
Online for 40% off. So yes. I kind of alternate between Amazon and Michael's when I've been collecting my goodies. And also there are a lot of private shops, like not private, but like on Etsy, people that are actually using their 3D printers to make the little, I should have brought a couple down just to show you, but picture a tiny little cookie cutter, right? Of many shapes. And there are people that are using their 3D printer that are printing all of these, like plastic cutters. And there's even quite a few Etsy shops that if you happen to be lucky enough to have a 3D printer, I do not, but they are selling I almost said STD, and it's not an STD because that's just wrong. Is it an STL file that you would use for your 3D printer so that you could replicate those molds? So I do have a few coming from those shops.
To make the molds?
To make the cutters, yes. And
all of the other has a 3D printer, so.
Oh,
I'll
there
have
you
to look
go.
into that.
So yeah, so you
So,
can look up the links for that too. And that's a lot of fun. But it could be a really deep rabbit hole. And
I know
I
I
was
can,
beginning to think there's no rabbit hole that I haven't at
no.
least peeked into. And this one was all new to me. And Julia showed up at the coffee shop, I want to say a few months ago now,
Well, yes.
toting these gorgeous buttons. And we were all just agah at looking at these buttons. And then she invited us over to play. And I'm like, well, hot dog, I have found a new rabbit hole. So currently, because I have nowhere near enough space down here, I have occupied the entire dining room table upstairs. But I did say to Mike tonight, as he's like looking for a place to sit to have his dinner, I said, I will clean all of this up tonight. But I had, so much fun, but it isn't something that takes a huge, it will pack away like into a nice
Yeah,
small tote box. It's just that when you're creating, I feel like I need the space. So I need all of the dining room table laid out there. And then, you get into a little bit of the wires and things, like when I was putting the stitch markers on. So I had to, get out my little pliers and, do some wire shaping. And then I bought the wires that will go all the way through. So I have those in when they're baking. So it's easier to do that. So yeah, be prepared, friends. That might be like the next little gifty thing you get. You might get some really wonky little stitch markers.
I am. Now I'm afraid
fun.
though, that I'm gonna start making buttons, and then I'm gonna be buying yarn to match the buttons.
I know, right? That's the other thing. Like I have no, yes, bear in mind, I have absolutely no blue projects on my needles now or anytime, but it was the colors that attracted me. So believe it or not, there is I'm trying to think, what colors did I actually put in here? There's a white, a navy blue, and I think a turquoise, and then the metallic gold. And that is what I ended up getting these ones out of. But I love these. I could totally see these ones on a card. I actually do love these so much that I would like to knit a cardigan to put these ones on.
I know.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like it's just another way to use our brains to be creative. And I think we were talking about this on the weekend with some friends that came from Strathroy to knit under the bridge with us. We had a big group. I know, Noelle, you missed this past weekend, but we had a big group under there this weekend, and it was so much fun to see everybody. But anyway, we were talking about that, and we've all been through it one reason or another. I went through it because of my wrist. When you can't do what you love, if you are a creative person, your brain it isn't that I want to do something, it's that I need to do something creative. So when I couldn't use my wrist, I couldn't knit, that's when I was busy finding other ways, like, oh, how can I hold a crochet hook differently so that this hand is stable in my hand brace and that I can still crochet. And I found a way to do that. And then I got out my drawing tools and I started doodling, and I was doing things like that. So there's all kinds of ways to scratch that creative itch that we get. And right now, this is another little fun way for me. So be prepared. There may be like future things that I show that I've been making, but it is a lot of fun. It is an awful lot of fun. So, okay, that was thing-ish one.
Okay, so my first finish is I finished my Amelie tee. Let me just bring up the banner here. So this is a pattern by Petite Knit, and I haven't blocked it yet, but it is finished.
Oh, very nice.
And I love it. It's so
Isn't that
light.
a great pattern?
It is a great pattern. This is done in Sandens Garn Tin Lina. So the Tin Lina is a cotton viscose linen blend, and the three colors are it's white, but it's the one below the true white.
Okay.
And then the pink is called bubblegum, and the green is called bright lime. So in her pattern, she's got two versions. She's got one that's just in two colors, and then she's got one that's in the three colors. So modifications that I made, when I got down to the bottom, I increased the number of stitches again so that it wouldn't pull in too much. But then because it goes to that rolled hem, before I went back to the rolled hem, I actually decreased those stitches out of there because I didn't want the roll hem to flare out from the rib. So I did that. And then the neckband is different because she just has a rolled neckband on hers. But I did the 1x1 rib that matches the sleeves and the bottom, and then just ended it with the rolled edge in the green color.
Very nice.
And other than that, I think I pretty much followed the pattern. So I did it on a 3mm needle. I did go down at the bottom to a 2.5. Altogether, I used 1.5 skeins of the white, which is 75 grams because the Tin Lena comes in 50-gram balls. I used 63 grams of the lime, and I used 20 grams of the pink. So yeah, so it's like I said, it's not been blocked yet, but it almost, I mean, I will block it, but it almost, like the Tin Lena, you almost don't even need to block it. Like I even find sometimes the Lena, you don't really need to block it, but she does a beautiful raglan, and your stripes just line up. Like I could see doing this sweater again, like in a winter version with long sleeve.
Oh yeah,
just
for
two
sure.
colors. It would be a great sweater to use up bits and pieces of yarn. You could do it striped all over. And I really like the way it fits, the way that raglan fits in the shoulders. And I believe that I did the second size in it. So that's my first finish.
Okay. My next finish, better show something knitted, right? I did finish something knitted. I could have got them on blockers before now, though. So I finished my Simply Sporty Shorties by This Handmade Life. I have a banner. Here we go. There we go. So love them.
Cute.
Very nice. May or may not have bought another pair of Adidas runners too that just happened to be exactly this color. So you wait and see. Now there'll be another matching pair of short socks to wear with my runners. But anyway, I've made these ones before. So these are the style that I like, that have this heel tab on the back. And I've mentioned this before, but I will repeat it again. I like this heel tab because a couple of reasons. It definitely stays put in the shoe. And I seem to have, I have a narrow heel. So I feel like my heel slides around a bit in my shoes. And I can sometimes get a blister on the back if I don't have a sock between me and the shoe. So this accomplishes both of those for me. Has nice and high, stays put in the shoe. This sock has a traditional heel flap and gusset, and it did have a different, the other pair that I made has a different pattern on them, but this one, she just re-released, well, not re-released, but she added 3 new patterns to, stitch motifs to the top of her sock. So now, instead of just buying like a pattern that has 1 option, you're actually getting a pattern that has 4 options for finishing. Now, I will say that it also does have this nice little ribbed band in here, but I was humming along knitting the first ones and I completely forgot it. So I didn't go back. My other pair that I made of this pattern has that, and I do really like it. So I didn't leave it out because I didn't like it. I left it out because I forgot. Because I bet you do this too, Noelle, when you're knitting socks, often, like once you get past what you think you need to know about the pattern, you kind of just take off because we've knit so many socks, but I completely blew by the part that said, start the arch gusset, or whatever the heck it's called. But anyway, I give you a better look here at the pattern. It's a really easy potato chippy pattern. It's got some stockinette and garter stitch in there, and some twisted stitches as well, which stand out nicely. It's very comfortable to wear. This is using yarn that I got from Ravenswood Fiber Co. called, well, that was unexpected. And then this is the Knit Picks Stroll colorway, and it was can't remember, maybe sapphire, maybe not. That doesn't sound right. Dusk.
It doesn't look like sapphire.
No, it doesn't look like sapphire. Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. It's on my Ravelry page. If you are so inclined and you have burning desire to know this, you can go onto Ravelry and have a look at it. But I can't recommend this pattern and this style of sock enough if you have any of those issues that I like. It really stays put in your shoes. So, okay.
Okay, so my next finish is the Pickles Romper by Marta Porcel, and I'll show you a picture of it. It's not for me. To clear that up right now.
I was getting really excited to see that picture.
So this is the little romper. So I thought it was super cute, and I wanted to make
so
one.
Cute.
I wanted to make one for Bo. Okay, so here's mine. Just a minute here.
Oh, adorable.
So I did mine in Drops Saffron, which is 100% cotton. It's a yarn from Drops I got on Wool Warehouse. It's really cost effective. They class it as a sport weight yarn, but I really think it knits up more like a fingering. Like this is, I believe it's a 27 stitch gauge.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it took 89 grams. So it took almost 2, but it's less. I mean, they're 50-gram balls, right?
Right.
So it took 1.89 balls, and then this little bit of white was about 1.5 grams. So for the little kangaroo pocket here, I didn't want it just plain. So I went to my Stitch Doodle directory by Jamie Lomax, and they had these little fish on there. So I ended up just putting the little fish on, which I did have to do color work back and forth, like on the purl side to do that. And then I just wanted a little pop of color, so I put these little red buttons on it.
You could have made fish buttons.
I know. But I didn't have all my stuff then. Yeah. So the only modifications that I made to the pattern, when I got down to the band on the legs here, they didn't say to go down needle sizes. This is knit on a 3. I went down to a 2.5 because I wanted those to kind of cinch in more. Yes. And then I did the same thing on the straps because I wanted the straps to be quite strong. So I did them on a 2.5 millimeter needle. The strap only called for 6 stitches. I did 9 because I didn't think that 6 stitches was quite wide enough. I wanted just a little bit more to hold the romper on. So it is knit in pieces. So I did have to sew it together. Like you knit the back and the front separately, and then you've got to sew up the side seams. But basically they're just a mattress stitch. So you can't really tell where it gets sewn up, but it was a lot of fun to knit. So I just got to block it, and then hopefully the weather's going to get warm enough and he'll be able to wear it. So, but it was very fun to knit. So.
Okay. Well, my next finish is also a romper, not for me. Let me see. Where did it go? I did make a banner, but mine is not knit. Mine is sewn. And this is the Summer Romper by Brindle and Twig. Cute. So I made these for Miles as well. And it's a very similar shape. I don't have buttons on it yet because I'm going to make some, and I haven't. Yeah. So I've just got the straps pinned, but there it is.
Oh, that's cute. Very cute.
Very cute, right? Mm-hmm. It's adorable. So this is not for Miles. This is for Nina, I guess, but you've probably figured that out. And then I just use a contrast, a little bit of a stripe on her little shoulder straps. It's very fun to make. The pattern is actually designed for a knit romper, and this is woven cotton. But the only part that it really gets tricky is down here doing the elastic, because it's just hard to get that up into the machine. It's not really designed for that. Would have been easier with a knit fabric, but still not too tricky. And I just love the way it looks. It looked so cute on Miles, and I thought it would look really cute on Nina too. She's getting pretty active. And so I don't know what I'm going to do for the buttons yet, but I will make the buttons and then make the buttonholes. So I just have pins in here for right now. I wanted to make sure I know what I'm doing. So, but it's cute. It's cute. It's really cute. I've also got another bit of fabric that I was thinking of. Now I know that this could fall into this is probably a much more mature fabric, but I still think it would be so super cute on a little girl. And then I was just thinking, why not be really bold? And I could do the stripes in this bright purple, or I do also have this kind of bright coral peach. I don't know which one I like better. Nina really likes purple. So she told us. So it might end up being the purple stripes, but I just think this one is it's such a pretty fabric. And like I said, I know that it's probably quite mature, but I think on a cute little baby with all her roly-poly little legs, I think it would look really cute. So she might have another head her way too. Yeah.
Okay, so my next finish is the Crossover Baby Cardigan by Mariana Mell. And I do have a picture of it. So this is what it looks like. This is actually a free pattern on Ravelry. She's got actually quite a lot of cute baby patterns that are all, a lot of them are free. Some of them are paid for. And a lot of them go down to even preemie sizes. So this one actually did go up to a 0 to 3 month size. So I have done one in this little, this is done in Drops Fiesta. So the Drops Fiesta is a 75-25 superwash.
Mm-hmm.
So this crosses over completely in the front, and then you've got 2 buttons down here that just kind of tack it down at each side. Now I've got it pinned here because I think I'm actually going to put just a little snap here so that it's not like opening up, but I'm going to put a little snap on it. So this is the first time that I've used the Drops Fiesta. It's actually nice. I like it.
I liked it too, and I made the socks out of it.
Yeah, and it's really good for baby things because you can put them in the washer and the dryer probably.
Yes.
Yeah, it does say to lay to dry, but it probably wouldn't be too bad if you actually forgot once and put it in the dryer. So this, it comes in 50-gram skeins, and this took, I think I've got 11 grams left of the second skein. So you can get it out of pretty much 2 skeins. Modifications that I made to the pattern, I did add a few more rows down here because I wanted to increase to the point where the crossover came all the way across. So I looked at it by number of stitches. So it was only a few more rows than what the pattern called for. And I had enough yarn. So I did that because I thought better to have the little bit extra length anyway. Yeah. And then the sleeves got quite narrow. So I actually just did the sleeves and kept the width the same until I got down to the bottom. And then down at the bottom, I decreased stitches just to bring the cuff of it in a little bit. Mm-hmm. So that is my first one. And I'm doing another one, but I'm moving into whips. I'll show you the whip. I'm doing a second one, and I'm doing it in this. Again,
very nice.
Drops Fiesta. That pink one was called, the color was called Rainbow Sprinkles. And this one is color 16, and it's called Herb Garden.
So that's perfect.
This one is going to be a little boy version. And the reason I'm doing this is in less than 2 months, I am going to have twin grandbabies. My son and daughter-in-law are expecting twins, a boy and a girl, and they will be Penelope and Mackenzie's newest siblings. So I had to get on the ball and start making them some things. I think that I'm going to make them those little rompers too, because I think they would be super cute.
Yeah, they are cute.
So yeah, so those were fun. And I think it's a nice style of sweater for a baby because you don't have to button all up the front. You've only got the 2 buttons down here. Yeah. And yeah, I just think it's easier and there's not buttons down the front of it. So
I made a very similar one for Nina, and she got a lot of wear out of it, a lot. Mm-hmm. And I used the Barocco yarn. So yes, it could go in the washer and the dryer. And it was a great pattern. So really cute.
Yeah, it is. And it's like I said, that it actually goes, the pattern actually goes down to, like, it starts at small preemie, goes to big preemie, goes to newborn, and then I think that was 0 to 3 months. But that doesn't look all that big to me. But I figure that should fit like around September, maybe. So because they're not going to need it. Like they'll probably, hopefully,
well, also
August.
Given that they're twins, they're probably going to be a bit on the smaller side too.
Yeah. So okay. So that was my first whip and my last finished object.
Okay.
So how many?
I have 2.
You have?
2.
Okay. I have 4 other than that.
Okay. 4 on top of that? Well, then, okay, go ahead and do another one.
Yes. Okay. So my first one is my socks from Nancy, which obviously got taken a back seat because I was too busy knitting baby things. But but I did get farther along. So these are my Njord socks. These are a men's size, so they are a 72 stitch sock. Let me just find my banner for them, and I'll show you what they look like. So they've got detail going up each side of the sock, which makes it nice because you can't put them on the wrong way. And then they've also got like a nice detail kind of back seam going down the back of the sock. So you can see the design really clearly. It shows up nicely in this yarn, and this yarn is TaylorMade, which is a brand of yarn from Michael's.
No, from
Oh,
Fabric
not Michael's,
Knits.
Fabricland. Sorry. Yes, Fabricland. And it's a 75-25. It just feels like the German sock yarns. And there
Yeah.
you can see down the back, you've got the seam that kind of goes down the back of the sock. My contrasting color is Yarn Indulgences. It had her Z Lux, which was a BFL sock, which unfortunately she doesn't make any yarn. And I really like that yarn, the BFL.
Yeah,
But I
it is
just
a good
trimmed it
yarn.
up top, did the heel, and I haven't decided yet whether I'll do the toe in this or whether I'll do the toe in the plain. But that will be, when those are done, that will be 8 pairs done for Christmas.
Okay. You're humming
So
along.
I am. I just got to not get distracted.
Well,
okay.
It'll be hard not to be distracted with all these babies.
I know, but baby things are so much fun to knit.
They really are, aren't they?
Anyway.
Okay. Well, I got really close to finishing my Amelie tee. I think I have about an inch left to do, and then the hem. But I didn't knit a lot this week, and
got distracted by buttons.
I got distracted by buttons, but also we were camping, and I always pack enough. When we go camping, I pack enough knitting to like knit a month straight, and I don't get anything done. I don't know why I even think I'm going to have time, but I'll show you what I have done. Like, look, I'm so close, so close.
Yeah, looks good.
If I had not played with buttons this week, I could have been finished, but that's okay. You'll see it again in 2 weeks. It'll be a finish by then, I'm sure. So I didn't do the modifications to the neckline that Noelle did. So mine is just as written, which is the rolled neck. I always don't like showing the front of this sweater because you've got like the back that shows through. I don't like the way that looks. It won't show obviously when you're wearing it, but so we're just going to look at the back of it because the back is the same too. But as Noelle said, it's got beautiful raglan shaping. And I'm using the Sunday yarn, Santa's Yarn Sunday, and these are actually the petite knit colors. So the corally red is called Poppy, and then this one is cream, but there's another word with the cream. I don't know what it is, but anyway, yes, Julia, I will be able to wear it for Canada Day because that usually pops along every year, and I'm like, oh, I have nothing red to wear. I don't have a lot of red. And this isn't even really a true red. It's kind of like a really bright corally red, but I am excited to get it done because I really do. I love that striped sequence, that thick and thin, thick and thin. I think it's really effective. And I knit it to pattern too, although I did not knit the sleeves as long as she said to knit them.
I don't even know if I did or not.
I feel like you didn't when I was looking at it.
For my size, I think I did the number of repeats that I looked at her sweater that she was wearing, just going by the number of stripes.
Okay. So after my separation, I've got 2 thick, 1 or 2 thin, 1 thick. What have you got?
I have 2 thick, 2 thin.
Okay. So you did go longer.
Yeah.
I tried the sleeves on a couple of times as I was knitting it. So I think, yes, you were supposed to go to something like 4.5 inches or something for the sleeves. And I did less than that. I probably did 2.5 and then the border. And I felt like that was a really good spot to stop for me. So I did stop the sleeves a little bit early, but yeah, I do not have much left to do on this, but I feel like it's taken an awfully long time to knit. I cast this on during our little weekend retreat. And I felt like I've just been knitting on this. And I do try to knit every day on it and get like a few stripes tossed in there, but it's a lot of knitting, and it's a 3 millimeter needle. That's a lot of it's a lot of sweater to knit for just a tee. But I do really love the fabric, and I really like the pattern. And this was my first pattern, a petite knit pattern. And
except for the Sophie.
Except for the Sophie, but that's
first garment.
First garment, yeah. So we won't even really call Sophie like the pattern, but I do really like it, and I like the way the pattern is written, and I think there are some nice details in it. So it's I'm pretty happy with it. Okay.
So my next work in process is I went back to my Staff and Light by Rebecca Clow. And I do have a picture. So in her Staff and Light pattern, there's actually two versions. She's got like a DK weight version, which is like a 20 or 22 stitch gauge. And then she's got a fingering weight or a 4-ply version, which is a 28 stitch gauge. So I'm using Coast. So I'm doing the 4-ply version. And again, it's 3mm needles. So I actually had to swap them out because the regular Chi-Goose set doesn't come with 3mm needles. So I've got a couple of fixed 3 middle. Yeah, it doesn't. It goes 2.75 and then it goes to a 3.25 in the sets. You can buy the threes. You can buy the threes, but it doesn't come in the set. So I went back to it, and of course I had to figure out where I was, but I did. So it's coming along. I've got it moved to a bigger needle now, so you can see it a little bit better, but I'm really liking it a lot. So I got to get back to this. So this is the Holst Yarn Coast, and it's the colorway Jaffa, but this pattern's got, it does keep you interested because you've got different sections of a different stitch.
Do you have it inside out? I think it's inside out, Noelle.
Is it? Yeah, it is. There
we go. That looks better.
So anyway, so yeah, so I am really liking it. I'm into the rib section now, and I think at the end of the rib section, I've only got a few more rows to go before I split. And then it always seems like once you get that split done and you don't have so many stitches all the way around, that it goes a little bit faster, because when you've got all those stitches around there for the sleeves and stuff, it just seems like it takes forever to get around.
Well, I thought that about the Amelie tee. I thought, oh, I'm going to be flying after I get those sleeves off. No, I'm still not flying. Yeah. And I knit the staff in last year, and I remember thinking that it's like, gosh, it's just a little crop sweater. I'm going to fly through this. And you don't. It's still, but it was fun because you're doing so many different things with the stitch pattern.
Different. So like I'm doing this, my rib on my neckband is on a 2.5mm needles, and that seems like it takes forever. So even moving up to the 3mm needle when you get to the body of the sweater feels like you've accomplished something. And she's got the short rows built in like really nicely. Like, so if you look at the back, you can see that rib section at the back is much longer. So she's got the short rows all built in there, but then it looks like seamless on the way around. It's just
it's lovely.
She does her details, and her shaping is just phenomenal. And I can't wait to block this, because I know that the Coast looks so much better after you've blocked it. Like it just kind of fills in the little creases and crannies and just blooms. So I'm looking forward to that part of it. But yeah, I do really like it. And I do like knitting with the Coast. Like I like the feel of it on my hands. So, and it is actually a nice, cost-effective, I wouldn't say middle of the summer yarn, but it's a nice, like transitional kind of, like if it's like we have like what we've been having, it's fine.
Yes, but it's half cotton, right? So it's now I didn't use that. I knit my staff in the Alice by Durerem Natura, and it has a bit of a linen composition. It's a merino with linen, and it was just lovely. And no, I definitely can't wear it in the hottest part. I remember I took it to Seattle when I went to Flock last summer, and I was pretty warm. There was a day that I wore it. It was pretty warm, but anyway, I am getting a little bit of wear out of it. And I pulled it out the other day, actually, because I had got a new dress that it looks really good with. So if it warms up this week, maybe I'll throw that on.
Well, and there's lots of places that you go in the summer when you go inside and it's cold. Like you need more than just a really light top on. So.
Oh, Dia's here. Greetings from Mallorca. She's on holidays and on tour from an engagement party. Ah, lovely. Lovely. I've not been to Mallorca. I've been to Menorca, and it was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. So, okay. Next thing I have, which is living in my super cute little camper bag from Itty Bitty Yarn Shop. These came out last week. Popped into my feed. I bought the pattern, passed them on the next morning because they're so stinking cute. How could I not? I have a banner. These are the Leopard Socks by Summer Lee Knits. And obsessed with them. Check them out.
They're cute.
They're so cute. They are leopard print. And I am using the Drops Nord, which, by the way, Drops just released Nord in patterned
Oh, okay.
yarn.
Okay.
I quickly fired off a hot message to Tracy because, wow, that's exciting. This is Tracy's favorite sock yarn. And then I'm using for the color work the Brook Farm, which is really nice toothy yarn, easy to work with for color work. She does recommend a 2.75 for the leg. I had used a 2.5 because, again, this is actually just a tiny bit thicker than a regular sock yarn. But this I feel like is just a tiny bit thinner. So I think it's kind of balancing itself out. But I'm now, I think, about 13 rows after the heel. And I'm going to drop back down to a 2.25 for the rest of the foot. I definitely don't need the foot of my sock to be that wide. But these are so fun. So this whole pattern is these 32 rows here of the leopard is actually one pattern repeat.
Okay.
So then you'll do like another pattern repeat and then part again for the foot, and then you're done. So she has this, it's a little bit of a shorter sock, and that is the way she wrote the pattern, and a shorter cuff. And I did switch out the heel pattern. She has you put in a forethought, afterthought heel.
Okay.
And I used that method in her pattern, the Apricity socks, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it. So I switched out to the Shadow Wrap heel. And this one is a good fit. This has always been a good fit for me. And with the Shadow Wrap, you actually get the same stitches. It's not like a short row heel where one side the stitches look a little different. With the Shadow Wrap, you get the identical same stitches on either side. And if you are wanting to know how to do that, Denise, who is Earth Tones Girl, has a wonderful tutorial on there where she knits in real time with you to show you how to do that heel. But I am already thinking about how many other fun colors I could have leopard socks in. These are so stinking cute. And a few of my friends have hopped on Instagram and said they got bit by the bug too, and they've been showing me. And every single color combination I see, I absolutely love. Yes, Amy Penny's. Penny did a really nice color because she's using a deep tealy turquoise as her main, and then a dark brown for her leopard. Stacy is doing a hot pink with a dark chocolate brown for her leopard. All good color options. Like there's so many. And anyway, it's a really fun pattern. She did have a discount. I probably don't think the discount is still on because it came out in conjunction with her podcast or her vlog last week. But anyway, leopard socks because we can. Cute. Very cute. Okay.
Okay. So my next work in progress, I also went back to my Tonight Top by Lily Kate France. And I do have a picture of that too. So it's like a tank top, but it's got a higher neck, but it's definitely something for me that I would probably wear under something. So here is what I have got. Okay, so I had started this back in October, and then I sort of had to put it on hold because I knew I wasn't going to have enough yarn. So I had to order more yarn. And then I knew when the yarn came in, I was going to have to alternate skeins. So, but I've got farther down. I actually only have maybe another like 2 inches before I do the hem, but the armhole looks really deep. So
it does. Yeah.
It is, but there is a whole border that goes around it in double knit. So I'm actually going to do one of the arms bands first and make sure that it's okay. If not, I'm going to figure out, well, I don't have to go back to there, but I don't want to keep knitting. I want to do one of the arm bands and see what it's like first, sense. Just to make sure. It is the yarn is Glio. I gotta look at this. It is
Glio Delucci, isn't it?
Yes. It means the eyes of the wolf, but I have to see what what the pronunciation is. It's in Italian. So, and I know you have some too, and because we both have some in the DK weight. It's a beautiful yarn. It's a non-superwash yarn, Glioce del Lupo. So that's what it is. And this is the Carilla, but she has a Carilla fingering and a Carilla DK. So it is non-superwash, but it is hand dyed. So that's really blowing out because of the color. But I really
the red is so hard to show on a camera.
Yeah, I really did have to alternate the skeins. So there's the front that does go down more. But again, it's got this beautiful detail that goes down the sides. It's hard to see because of the color. But that is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to do the armband, see if it comes in enough, and then.
Can you bring up the picture again?
Yeah. Where is she? So it is a deep armhole, but
it is.
I'm even thinking I actually could short row back and forth just across down at the bottom.
I think you've just got to trust it, because you know what? She really does write a good pattern.
Does. And
I have every faith in it.
So
yes.
And I do think that double knit band will bring it in. You're doing that all the way around the whole armhole.
That's right.
It's not just that. So, but the yarn is beautiful to work with. And of course, I only needed one more skein, but when I ordered it, of course, I ordered 3 because I didn't want to be left with like just a little bit of one skein. So, and I do have mohair. I do have matching mohair in that color. So I could do a cardigan to go over it.
There you go.
It would be a really nice set. So, but yes, I'm really liking that tomatoey red color because I think that's pretty close to this. But it is a very nice color.
So Deborah is saying that she made the Tonight top last year, and she said, trust the process. It works. And I believe it will work because she really does write a good pattern, and I think it will be fine.
So, okay. Do you have any more whips?
No.
Okay. No. I have one more.
Okay.
So when you talk about things that cross over your feet and you just have to cast them on. Yep, that happens. So this was not across my feed, but I was watching Margaret in My Wonderful Knitting Life, her podcast, and she is actually doing a year of colorwork socks where she's doing a different colorwork sock every month.
Oh, fun.
So one of the ones
that she is. Yes.
One of the ones that she's working on is this one, the Fasara socks by Olya Killick. And I do have a picture of the sock, and I just loved it. And her version, she's doing it with a self-striping yarn. She's doing it with turtle pearl yarns, and it's really beautiful purples and greens.
It's like a gradient striping, though.
Yes, I just fell in love. And then the other detail that I really liked on it was this here. So it's actually color work all over, but she still does a heel flap and a gusset, and she incorporates the color work into the gusset, which I have not ever done that before. Any color work socks I've done have always had like an afterthought heel or a shadow wrap heel. Never the continuation where the color work carries into the gusset of the sock. So I'm really excited about doing that. And I am doing mine in good old Barocco vintage sock. This is the colorway. What's it called?
Isn't it natural?
Buttercream.
Oh, buttercream. Yes, buttercream.
And then I'm using my Shopple wool. So this is the Shopple wool, and it's colorway 2429, which is tap in 10 Wetzel. It's German. I looked it up, and I think that the translation is, it says change of scene, but I think it's change of season.
Okay.
Is really what it means. And so this is what I've got done so far.
Oh, see, it's perfect.
And I love it. I absolutely love it. So I'm at the heel. So I've just started the heel, and the heel is a little bit different too, because it's not your typical slip one, knit one. Like you can see that the slip ones are just like more spaced out.
Yes. Yep.
And I debated on doing the heel in this color because I really do like it. But then I thought, when I come around to this, it's going to break up the flow of the color sequence. So I just thought that I'd keep it the way it was, do the cream colored heel, and then my color sequence will stay.
Very nice.
And I don't, you know what? I don't even know if I'm going to get through a whole repeat doing one sock.
Probably
but I will be okay. I will be okay with them being.
You will have so much different. Of that yarn left.
But
when I knit my camping socks last year using that, oh gosh, I still have enough. Like I could make another full pair of socks out of them. It seems to go forever. It's beautiful.
This has just, I absolutely love it. And like down the side too, like look like her details are just impeccable. And she has lots more color work patterns. So who knows, this could end up being a theme for socks 2027.
That little bit, like aside from her side seam, it's like it's split the leaf perfectly.
Yeah.
It's so
well, and the way
beautiful.
it does it, like it splits, so it covers up that kind of that beginning around, because you've just got like the
That's
perfect
right.
straight lines just down that.
It almost looks like you're knitting steeks in the side there.
Yeah. And this, okay, so the sock like it goes, there's 5 different sizes, I think 6 different sizes. I think I'm doing the 3rd size, but I think there's like, it starts at 52, maybe 52, 50.
Gosh, that would be small for a color work sock.
So, but it would go down to a kid's. So I'm doing like a 62 stitch sock. So on my cuff, I used a 2.25 millimeter needle, but then in my body of the sock, I'm using a 2.75 millimeter needle because I only have 62 stitches. And then for my heel, I went back to my 2.25. And then once I get back to the color work, I'll go back to the 2.75. So I use the circular. You can see my little 9-inch circular here. I use that for the color work because it keeps your color work nice and even. Yes. And then I'm just doing on my flexi flips, I'm just doing my heel back and forth. So yes, Margaret, the pattern is so much fun. I look through her patterns and they all look just amazing. And this yarn is beautiful.
It's so nice to work with. I love it.
And like all that. And I didn't do anything other than knit with 2 colors, and it just gives you the gradation of the colors.
Beautiful, beautiful gradients. So, yes.
But yeah, so that kind of distracted me from my 3 millimeter needle projects. But it is a lot of fun to knit. So, and yes, I will definitely be trying more of her patterns. So take a look at her patterns, and they're like, I think for what you get for them, they're actually pretty reasonably priced. And like you said, like that's a nice technique, incorporating the stranded knitting stitches right into your gusset and your sock.
Yes.
So
I've done one pair like that years ago when I just joined Ravelry, and it was trying to think, it was like Winterberry or something like that. And it seemed like it took a lot of work, but also I was kind of new to sock knitting then. But I just went out to Ravelry and I grabbed this photo too. This was the same yarn that I used that you're using now, different colorway. But yeah, again, it's just like the gradient change is so subtle from stripe to stripe. I really, really enjoyed working with it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is you don't really want to break it up at the heel by doing the,
no,
because I'm at the yellow there, but it looks like I go into darker color. So if I did the heel that color, I'd probably use up most of the yellow. And then where this is here, then I'd go into a harsh color and you wouldn't see that gradual fade.
That's right.
Into it.
Yeah.
Because the way they do it in the Sour Ball Crazy is it's like your yarn is 2 stranded, but it's like they kind of fade in a new color before they fade out the old color.
Very subtle.
So it's just really subtle. Yeah.
And you know who else had a yarn that was similar to that too? I don't know if you remember. I still have enough to do another pair. Plus I have an unused ball, but remember that gathering yarn?
Yep.
They had one that was very similar. And I used a pattern by Andrea Mowry to make a pair for Kendall. And the gradient change is so subtle and really, really lovely. So yeah, I love a gradient sort of striping change. I think it's a really nice, and for what it does to color work, I mean, it just really makes your color work look like you've done something so amazing. And the yarn did all the heavy lifting.
Yeah. And I mean, for this, so you're probably going to get at least 2 pairs with easily, that, like doing something like this. So this is maybe, it's not any more expensive than buying like a 100-gram skein of hand dyed.
No,
I think it's basically the same price. And then if you put it with something like your Barocco, which is like relatively inexpensive, you get a couple of pair of socks for, like pretty reasonably priced. So
really nice.
Yeah, so I'm really enjoying that, and it's a nice little project. I don't know if I can work on it in public, but but this pattern is more repetitive than the one you're doing.
I can't
see the pattern repeat in it a bit more.
Yeah, I cannot like you can't memorize it. I basically have to it's fun to do, but it's like a solitary project. I'm sitting right in front of my iPad that has Knit Companion, and you're like, okay, 6, 6, and you knit those,
Yeah.
and you look back up and 3, 2, look them up. So even like I haven't been working on that like in the evening. If Mike comes down and wants to put a movie on or something, I haven't even been working on that. That's when I pick up the Amelie. But when I've got some alone time, I'm really enjoying that.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be, something that I would want to work on a lot. But because there's socks, it's going really quickly and it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just when we were talking about this designer and her details, like even at the beginning here, you can see that because the leaves don't start to here, then she incorporates this little pattern across the top so that you don't have all that blank. Plus, then you're not worried about catching float. So there's I think there was one row in this where there was maybe 7 stitches across that I caught a float in the middle. The rest of it, basically, you're not going more than 5 stitches without having to change colors. So you really don't have to worry about floats too much.
Okay. So, well, I'll have to write that designer down. Maybe I need to go and look at her patterns too. Olivia Killick.
Yeah. So, yeah. So it's got a lot of knitting to do here. Must knit faster.
I know. Yes. So. Yes.
So did you buy anything?
No, but I acquired stuff.
Like yarn?
I acquired a bunch of fabric. So
okay.
The last 2 Saturdays when Sarah has come up to knit with us under the bridge, she had been given a huge bundle of fabric, and I have packed it all the way over in there. I can't show you any of it, but so she kind of laid it all out on a blanket. And we were just in there digging, like, oh, look at this one, and everybody was grabbing fabrics. It was really nice. And I when I posted the little video of us under the bridge, somebody sent me a message on Instagram and said, oh, what is that? What's on that blanket in the middle? It looks like, is it like a yarn bag dip or something? And I'm like, no, we're just in there randomly snatching out fabrics. But it was very kind of her to share it with us. And I think everybody got a little souvenir takeaway. It was really nice, actually. So I got a few pieces that are quite large. I have some plans for, and then everything else is just kind of like some fun crafty bits. But yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't get any yarn. Not that I needed any yarn, but I did buy all my button making supplies.
Okay. Yes, I guess I got all of that too. But
yeah.
Leanne is saying that she also has a socks Casper pattern of little ghosts. So cute. So yes, I'll definitely have to look that one up too. Thanks, Leanne.
So, and Kathy said she's knitting the Casper socks. So, but they are, like I said, and sometimes you don't even see those things. Like I wouldn't even have, she probably wouldn't have come across, I wouldn't have seen her patterns if it hadn't been for the fact that Margaret was knitting that pattern and I saw it. So then you go and you look at that pattern, and then you look at her other patterns, and she's got a lot of beautiful patterns. So
nice, very nice.
But okay. Well, that's it for me.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So we want to remind you that it will be Sunday, July 5th.
Yes.
And don't forget to get your socks in there because we're almost at the end of June. And don't forget to finish up that lace at your pace. You need to quicken up your lace pace now.
Pick up the pace, lace makers.
Pick up the lace pace. And get your items in there, and we will have some prizes for that on the next podcast. And wherever you are, we hope that you're enjoying your weather and that you have lots of time to take it easy and relax. And we will see you in almost 2 weeks.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us. And thank you to everybody that joins us after the fact. We will see you on July 5th. Happy knitting.